Hey gamers, I am CyberSnack7. Hope we're all well, guys. Yes, I am back after 3 long weeks away from YouTube yet again. I return and I'm glad to be back so I can get some videos up. I've got another 4 weeks left of this lockdown. I've already had 4 weeks off, so I thought these last 4 weeks I'm going to start getting some content up. I do have my reasons for not being around, which I might as well go into and just have a little bit of a waffle before I start the real reason for this video, of course. The last realistically 4 weeks I've just been spending time with the wife, to be honest with you. She's obviously been off with me, so we don't really get to spend a lot of time together in the real world, obviously, because I do work nights and she works days, and we only see each other weekends anyway. And 90% of the time we're probably doing stuff on the weekend that we can't get done in a weekend, and by the time we've done that, the weekend's over, so we don't really spend any quality time together. So I thought, well, you know, spend the first month, might as well, with the wife, and just do normal things, you know, chill out with her, take the dog a walk. She's found me 101 jobs to do in the house, which I never knew existed, so she's kept me busy, believe me. But it's just nice to spend some quality time with the missus and that, and you know, so I've done plenty of jobs in the house, and this one being also my favourite job I've done, of course, which I've messed about with the room yet again. As you can see, the screens are all changed. I've had a bit of a tidy up. I've took consoles out of the boxes, put, you know, consoles away. So I've got a 3DO out. I've been able to blast the 3DO on the PVM. Been loving that. Might get myself a few new games to the 3DO in the next few months when I can get back to work and earn some money. Been playing the Mega Drive. Got a bit of Fatal Fury on. And if you notice what that is, which you're not going to probably see from here, that is Doom 64 on the PlayStation 4. I downloaded it for £4. I wanted to play it for years, so I thought for £4, and you know, fantastic graphics, revamped graphics, I thought I'll give it a go, why not? So I've been playing plenty, to be honest with you. I've been giving Modern Warfare a miss for a few days because I've just been playing that too much, and I've just realised I've been playing that game since October last year, so my brain needs a break from Modern Warfare. And I've still got 40 days left of the season left, so there's no way I'm not going to finish it, but it's just nice to play something different, to be honest with you. But apart from that, it's about me. So I thought, you know, it's about time I started getting some videos up, some content out, because I've got plenty to show. And this is going to be, of course, the second in the Hit Squad Collection videos. I haven't done one for a while now, so I'm going to give you a bit of a bumper edition, and this is going to be 21 games I'm going to show you. And you know, there's a fair good selection here. Still not hitting really any of the big hitters yet, but there's plenty to come. I've been buying up a few here and there, because they do and are getting thin on the ground now. Of course, the scene, you know, obviously the more you get, the harder they are to acquire, which is plainly obvious, as Scott Brand will know, and obviously Paul, Mr. Bads. They're doing it for the Spectrum. So you know, I'm just gradually taking it bit by bit. I know they're going to become more expensive as I go along, but we'll just see how it goes, guys. But before I start this, I just want to put a couple of shout outs to, obviously, 2 people that have been entertaining me over these past 4 weeks, and that's one, of course, is Dainster with his live lockdowns, which he's been doing literally 5 nights out of 7. And he's been entertaining us. I've been on there myself. We've had a stack of YouTubers from past and present on there, so just chatting for 2 hours about how they started, the collections, and just general, you know, chit chat about obviously what's going on in the world, sort of thing. But it's been absolutely fantastic. Dainster has done a fantastic job in entertaining me and entertaining us all, basically. And it's brought a few tubers out of the woodwork. And it's nice, and a few new tubers that have been added to the community, which is always great to see, new YouTubers, because it's more difficult nowadays, obviously, than back in the day when I started, like talking 10 plus years now. It's difficult, and obviously with the guys like ourselves, the old guys out there who've been there for a while, you know, and give these new guys a chance and give them a push and a boost, and get them introduced into the community, which is all the better for me, because the more YouTubers out there, the more content I've got to watch, basically. And as I say, hopefully once all this madness is over, we can get together and have a good chinwag and get absolutely blattered, you know what I mean? So cheers to you guys. And one more shout out is of course Mr. Scott Brand, Sega Zombie, which he's been doing his lockdown specials. And I mean, he's been on the ball and pretty regular. I think he's got to be in about 14 episodes now, which is good going. I know he's had a couple of nights off, but he's been another entertaining guy. I must admit though, Scott, I'm a bit behind him. I'm probably about 5 behind now. I just can't keep up with you, mate. But absolutely fantastic that he's been entertaining us all, as well as Dana. So 2 great channels, guys. Please check them out. I guarantee you're going to be subscribed to them anyway, because they are 2 top guys and well deserved the watch and the subscriptions anyway. So, but another thing is thank you to some new subscribers which I've had over the past few months. Nice to get some new subscribers. Hasn't been a steady subscriber uptake in the last few months, but you know what? It's good to see that I've got a few new subscribers, and you know, at the end of the day, subscribers is good. All the better. I love subscribers, but I prefer the fact that people enjoy the content. That's all I'm bothered about, to be honest with you. You enjoy the content, I'm happy. It's as simple as that. But anyway, enough for me talking rubbish. It's great to be back. Let's crack on with some games, shall we? So as I say, we've got some more Hit Squad games for the Commodore 64. 21 games in total. And shall we crack on, shall we? So what we'll do, we'll start this time. I can't remember what I started with last time, but this time we're going to start with, now this is where it comes into it, guys, I'm afraid. The old guy in me needs his glasses because he cannot see what he's looking at anymore. Right, so I'm going to start with the, yeah, I still can't see now. Sports, there you go. We're going to start with the sports selection. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we've got 7 sports games to show you. So we'll start with this one, which is number 7. We're having to miss number 6 out because I haven't got number 6 yet. So number 7 is Super Sprint. And this is a classic arcade game. Absolutely love this game in the arcade. Top-down racer. Reminiscent to the likes of, what's that game now? Off-road. Super off-road and things like that. But this one is, of course, motor cars, but absolutely superb game. It's a bit difficult to control with the joystick, obviously, compared to the steering wheel in the arcade, but I absolutely love this title. It is a fantastic sports game. Probably one of my favourite racing games, to be honest with you, on the 64. But yeah, really, really love this game. Classic top-down racer, and that is Super Sprint. And that's sports number 7. Sports number 8 is an absolute classic title, and this is definitely the better of the 2, because you had International Karate and then you have IK Plus, and International Karate Plus is by far the best one of the lot, because obviously it's 3 players in this one. You can have, obviously, if I'm correct, you can have 2 players and the computer player, and then you can obviously 1 player versus 2 computer players, but which makes it absolutely a fantastic fighting game. A revolutionary at the time for fighting games, so I'm really, really happy with that one. Very good game, absolute classic fighting game. That's where it started, to be honest with you. But that is sports number 8, and that is IK Plus. And sports number 9 is another classic arcade game, Super Hang-On. Everybody knows what Super Hang-On is, and this ain't a bad conversion, to be honest with you, on the Commodore 64. Not too sure about any other versions. To be honest with you, graphically it don't look too bad. I mean, it's a bit monochrome, obviously. There's not a lot of colour in this game anyway, on any version you see on the back of there, but still, it's still got the music. The music is pretty damn good, and you know, the speed of the bike ain't too bad either, but still not a bad conversion for what it is for the C64, so happy with that, and still a classic game regardless. So that is Super Hang-On, and that is sports number 9. Okay, sports number 10 is, I think this is the second of the 3 Daley Thompson games, and of course this is Daley Thompson's Super Test, which is just basically, I'm assuming it's just sequels to Daley Thompson's Decathlon. But this one, you do have a lot more events. You got shooting, you got tug of war, you got bike racing, penalties, giant slalom, rowing, and you got diving on this one. So you've got a fair few selection of sports on here, and to be honest, yeah, it isn't too bad. I did try this one. The shooting was quite difficult on that one, but really, really good, cracking sports game. It's one of these joystick wagglers. So basically, you'll knacker your joystick with these, believe me, trust me. But still, fantastic little game, and another great addition to the Daley Thompson's collection. So that's sports number 10, and that is Daley Thompson's Super Test. And sports 12, not one of my favourite games in the world, of course. I'm not really a keen footballer, but still has to be got into the collection. But I'm sure I had this anyway originally back when I had my C64 the first time round. I don't know why, or I can remember playing it on the Spectrum. I think a friend of mine had it on the Spectrum, but of course I'm talking about Match Day 2. Match Day 2, it ain't too bad. Obviously it's one of the early football titles, of course, but you know, for what it is, it plays well. And a football game's a football game to me, as far as I'm concerned. But I think I was right. I think I actually played this game a lot on the Spectrum, because my mate was big on this, and he also liked Football Manager on the Spectrum as well. So that was big into this. So I played it because it was there to be played, basically. But still, not a bad little football game for what it is. But that's sports number 12, and that is Match Day 2. And speaking of Daley Thompson, this is the third in the series, and that's sports number 13, and that's Daley Thompson's Olympic Challenge. And this one has more, obviously, of the athletic side, which is like javelin, long jump, all the usual, high jump and running and things like that. Got more athletic sports in than, obviously, pretty similar to the original Daley Thompson Decathlon, to be honest with you. But yet again, graphically, this is easily the best in the series for graphics. Graphically, it looks really, really impressive. I don't think I've actually played this one, to be honest with you. But graphically on the back, you can see that they've really spruced up the graphics for the third edition of this. So I reckon this would be quite good, actually, to give this a shot. So I really should play this. But still, regardless, still glad to have all the Daley Thompson games in the trilogy. So that's sports number 13, and that is Daley Thompson's Olympic Challenge. Okay, the last one in the sports series, which is kind of weird because this was a TV programme, and if anybody can remember it back in the day, I think I did watch it because it's very, very familiar, but I'm not too sure. I can't remember the show. I think it was on ITV. Anybody in the UK know this? You probably will do. Run the Gauntlet. And this was definitely a TV programme back in the day where you had all obstacle courses. You had to do driving and racing on like quads and stuff like that. But as you can see, it's like a top-down view simulator. So it's a lot of racing involved and things like that. But definitely a TV show. So I suppose it's kind of a sport in a sense, because you're driving and stuff like that. So, but I do remember the name. That Run the Gauntlet does ring a bell, but I can't realistically remember actually watching it as a TV programme. But I know it was on ITV back in the day, or Central, whatever it may be. But a Saturday night, a Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening kind of show, that was, sort of thing. But another game I haven't played, to be honest with you. But still, it's another game added to the collection. So that's sports number 14, and that is a Run the Gauntlet. Okay, so that's all my sports out the way. Another set of sports. Right, pop them down there. Okay, we'll move on to the next 7, which is arcade. And I've got a fair few good ones here, to be honest with you. All pretty decent arcade games, especially the first one. Right in. So, we are game number 6 in the arcade. And this is easily probably the best one of the trilogy, without a doubt. And it is the original Renegade. Absolute classic side-scrolling beater from the past. This is an absolute class game. I'm not too sure. I know I've played this one. I'm not too sure if Renegade 2 is probably better or probably just as good as the original Renegade, but I remember this one more vividly than the other two, to be honest. I've never played the third one. I know it's supposed to be a pile of pants, to be honest with you, but still, when we get round to that game, I shall talk about it. But yeah, this is an absolute classic side-scrolling action, side-scrolling beta from back in the day. Absolutely classic game this is, and really happy to have this one. And that is the first, of course, of the trilogy of the Renegade series, but classic game. So that's arcade number 6, and there is Renegade. I'd love to stick up like in the corner something like you know, a screenshots and all that, but I just ain't got the time to do it. I really haven't got the time, unfortunately, but it's a shame. But regardless, I'm still showing you the games one by one what I've got, and I'm just happy to have them in the collection. Now this is a pretty decent shooter, and this is arcade number 9. So look, yeah, see, I've had to miss out 8, 7 and 8. I haven't got 7 and 8 of arcade, so we're going straight to number 9, and number 9 is Parallax, and this is a top-down shooter, and this reminds me of a kind of Iridium, if anybody's played Iridium on the Commodore 64 or the Spectrum, and I'm assuming that's what this looks like. Another game I haven't played, I'm not going to deny that, but still a cracking little shooter by all accounts. But by the look of it, yeah, as I say, it looks like a top-down shooter. But really looking forward to giving it a go when I get my Commodore 64 out. Been trying to get a bread bin Commodore 64. I really do want one. I've got the second edition of the Commodore 64, but I play it, but I want a bread bin. I want a box bread bin version, so I can, you know, I'll set it up and I'll leave it out all the time. Then I won't put it away once I get a bread bin one, because it's my original computer that I had back in the day, and that's the one I really want, to be honest. But regardless, anyway, Parallax, yeah, decent looking shooter, top down shooter, well, happy to have it. And that is arcade number 9, Parallax. Right, arcade number 10 is another arcade classic. Absolutely great game. This is, I love this on the Master System, to be honest with you. And that is Sega's Quartet. Absolutely fantastic game. This is a great side-scrolling platform action game. As I say, I love playing this on the Master System. So playing this on the Commodore 64 is just basically the same game, but still a quality game. Graphically, obviously not as good as, but still, it still plays the same regardless. But really fantastic game, and Sega classic, to be honest with you. So that is arcade number 10. That is Quartet. Another arcade classic, and that is arcade number 11. So look, yeah, we're doing in order. Arcade number 11 is an absolute classic side-scrolling platforming game, and of course you can't go wrong with a bit of Wonder Boy. This game's absolutely awesome. Yet again, I really played this a lot more on the Master System, and I went through, it took me an entire day to do this, go all the way through on the Master System, and I really enjoyed it. But this is a fantastic conversion of the game anyway, regardless. Another, as I say, Sega classic, and you can't go wrong with a bit of Wonder Boy. Absolutely mega game. This is easily one of the best platformers out there for the time anyway. But that's arcade number 11, and that is Wonder Boy. Arcade number 12, another shooter. Now this one I haven't played, I have to admit this, but this looks like another top-down shooter, and this is Slap Fight. Really great artwork on that case. I do like that artwork on that case, but as you can see on the back, it looks like and is a top-down shooter of some type. As I say, I haven't played this one. You know, some I have, some I haven't played. Some hold no nostalgia, some do, but that's just the way things go. But still, absolutely fantastic game. This one, like a few of these games, I buy them and then I look for them again and I can't find half of these. So I was quite happy to get some of these when I did, because as I say, the C64 Hit Squad games are becoming pretty popular again for some bizarre reason. But regardless of that, They are more expensive as well than the Spectrum, which is a bit of a bummer, but life goes on. But still, absolutely nice looking artwork and a fantastic game by all accounts. So I'm looking forward to giving that a shot eventually. But that's arcade number 12, and that is Slap Fight. Arcade number 14 is a game I've never played up until I got this variant. And to be honest with you, the game is not a bad game at all, and I've never ever played this. And it's Mikey. And this is not a bad little, I don't know what you'd call this. And it's not a platforming game. I don't know what genre you would call Mikey as an arcade game. I just wouldn't know. But obviously you go around and you gotta bash all the pupils on the chairs, collect all the hearts and that, while the cheaters chasing you around. And of course you go out into the corridors and you got to go into certain doors. But I gotta admit, I was pretty impressed with this. I've never, as I say, never played this until I got this variant, and I'm pretty chuffed with it, and it's not a bad little title at all. So well happy to have that one. And that's arcade number 14, and that is Mikey. Okay, last one in the arcade, and this is arcade number 15. And arcade number 15 is another one, unfortunately, I haven't played, and I'm just about to move my camera again. Sorry about that. I'm still having trouble with my camera stand. It knackered when I did the Sega sessions. Oh no, actually, I broke it about 10 minutes before I went on with Dainster when I'd done his live lockdown, and I just haven't fixed it, to be honest with you. So it kind of slants every now and again, so I have to keep on moving it. But anyway, right. Arcade number 15. Arcade number 15, a game I haven't played. I'm doing it again. Sorry, guys. There you go. I'm just gonna have to bear with me for this one. I'm gonna get this fixed next video, I promise you. But arcade number 15 is the Vindicator. This game I haven't played, I really haven't. And to be honest with you, it looks like a top-down adventure, and then it goes into like a side-scrolling, like probably you're driving around, you go into some buildings or whatever, and then it goes into like a side-scrolling kind of style of game. So it's a bit of both. It don't look too bad. I never played it. I've never really heard of the game, to be honest with you. So it'd be interesting to give that a shot and see if I can make any sense out of it. So there's not much more I really can say about that, but it is, regardless of that, arcade number 15, and that is the Vindicator. Okay guys, there you go. Another 7 arcade games to add to the collection. Right, so we are on the final lot, and of course we've got the movie selection to show you now. So something I've been doing too much of, drinking every single night. Yeah, apart from one night in the week, I have a break one night. It ain't done me too bad, to be honest with you. I've had a lager. I know it's not the greatest lager in the world, but I usually drink the cider. But for some reason I just fancied a lager, so I do waffle on. I do like going to tangents. Let's stop the tangents. Let's get on with the last 7 games for the movie selection for the Hit Squad. So, where are we? That shouldn't be there. That should be there. Like so. Right, now this is where it gets weird. Movies number 7. Now I don't know if these, obviously someone's going to tell me, does this happen? Has this happened in the Spectrum collection? And I don't understand why it's happened in the Commodore 64 collection. I don't understand it. So obviously, anybody out there who's got this full set, fill me in on this. Tell me why this has happened. Or hasn't it happened and I've just ended up getting 2 copies with number 7 on? Because arcade number 7. But the trouble is, as you can see, arcade number 7, Predator and Miami Vice. They are both movie number 7, as you can see. Don't ask me why, I haven't got a clue. But let's talk about Predator first. So, movie number 7, Predator. Classic Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, we all know that. The game itself isn't fantastic. It's like a run and gun basically you just from one side of the screen to the other permanently, and every now and again you get a little cross come on the screen, and the Predator's trying to, if you slow down, or you know, get to certain sections of the game, you just get wave after blokes coming, and the perspective isn't really that great, because it's very difficult to shoot people when you're running across. Never really completed it. I must have put all of 5 minutes into it. I've wanted to play it for years, and when I did, I was just deeply disappointed with it anyway. But still, I got to have it regardless. But still, great to have. Number 7 in the movie collection, and that's Predator. Okay, so number 7 in the movie collection, yet again, Miami Vice, a classic 80s, like into late 90s show, of course. Not played this, I got to admit, but this yet again looks like it's like a top-down driving section with side-scrolling adventure mode on it, so it don't look too bad. Never was big into Miami Vice, I got to admit, when back in the day. I loved the music was great for this TV series, but apart from that, that's as far as it went. But still, not a bad show. But the game itself, not played, haven't got a clue what it's about. Of course, it's going to follow the TV show, obviously, but the game itself I've not played, so I wouldn't really, I couldn't go into any detail with you about it. It's still a nice game to have, and yet again, one of those games I haven't come across since. So there you go, guys. That's strange. Movie number 7, and that's Predator and Miami Vice. So if that's the way it is in the Hit Squad collection for the C64, let us know. Or if that's bizarre and you've never seen it before, let us know. And does it happen in the Spectrum collection? Again, let me know. It'd be interesting to find out. So that was movie number 7. Movie number 8. 1 second, guys. There we go again. Moving my camera. Movie number 8 is a classic war movie, and to be honest, I bought this back in the day on the original C64 big box variant. Still got it, loved it with the cassette tape with the soundtrack from the movie on it. Absolutely loved this game, Platon. A great side-scrolling movie game, and it's not just side-scrolling. You got the section where you go under into the caves, and you got to walk through the water, and you get the people jumping out at you. Fantastic idea for the time, and such a brilliant game. I really do like this game. Put it on when I first got this back. I mean, back in the day I did it, I completed it, and absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it, but I couldn't even get off the first level when I played this, just because you show. It was just, back in the day, you put more effort into the games, and putting this on now, all it just gives me is frustration. So that just says one thing: I'm just not as good as gamer as I used to be. Simple as that, ain't it? But still, at the time when I got this, and I put it back on, and the memories just flooded back for this game. Such a great game, Platoon. Absolutely love this game. But that is movie number 8, guys, and that is the classic Platoon. That's just broken on the floor. Pick that up and fix it before there you go. Thankfully it's all in one piece. Platoon, guys, in one piece. Okay, so the next 3 games are a trilogy of games I loved on the arcade, and would love the original arcades for them, but never going to happen, unfortunately. Well, maybe not. Let's just keep it like that for the time being. So, movies number 9 is a classic Vector game, and absolutely love the films through and through. Always have been a massive Star Wars fan, so you know what I'm talking about. It's the original classic Star Wars, the arcade game, and this is pretty impressive, to be honest. Yeah, on the C64, I've got this original big box variant, or like the other 2, which I'm going to show you, but you can't get wrong. The Vector graphics works on, I think, realistically any system. It works quite well. Obviously, you've got the loading factor and all that, and you got no music on there, which is funny because you got a cassette. If I'm correct, you got a cassette with the Star Wars music on, which you could play. Like Outrun, you got the cassette of Outrun music where you could play the music while you're playing the game. But still, fantastic vector game. Absolutely love this game. All-time classic for me, like for most people, I'm assuming, into the arcades. But one machine I'd love to own, without a doubt. But very expensive, very hard to find, and way too big for my house, unfortunately. But still, there you go. That is movies number 9, and that is Star Wars. Movies number 10 will just follow suit, which is The Empire Strikes Back. And that is exactly the same style of game, vector graphics game, which is just basically, I think it was just an upgrade board they bought out and stuck in the original Star Wars cabs. They didn't bring a dedicated cab out for this, I don't think. But still, an absolute classic game in its own right. Very good with the attack walkers at the bottom. Plays really quite well. Only ever played this probably twice in the arcades. I've never ever seen it since. So I've really played it more on the likes of this than I would have in the arcades. But it's still great to see in the arcades, and as I only ever seen it twice, which is a shame. But still, a cracking vector game. Not as good as Star Wars, but still a fantastic game to play regardless. And that was obviously, of course, movies number 10. And movies number 11 is, of course, Return of the Jedi. This one is a love-hate game. You either love this game or you hate it, and I actually quite enjoyed this game back in the day. I really did like the way that the game was set out, where you obviously, the first level was where you was on the speeder bikes, and then you had the second level where you was in the Millennium Falcon. And I can't remember the other levels. You had one where you was on... the levels were kind of weird, because you'd go through a certain section on the speeder bike and then he'd change to an ATST walker. And it's kind of like, you know, mind-boggling, but still, fantastic game. Never really got that far in the game. You know, I did, but I didn't. I don't think it was ever completable. I don't think you could actually complete the game. I'm not too sure. Interested to find that if you could or not. But still, absolutely loved the game. You know, it was definitely different from the original two. But as I say, it's a love-hate game. Some people liked it, some people just didn't. And me being a Star Wars fan, I forgave it, and I ended up really enjoying this game. So, but that one I did play a lot on the arcades. I did get to play this one a lot. So it was nice to see the dedicated cab for that. And a very rare cab at that nowadays, I'm assuming. But still, fantastic game regardless. And that is, of course, movies number 11. And that is Return of the Jedi. Movie number 12 is this one, which is Batman the Caped Crusader. Now, this one I've had in the collection. I've had it for about 10 years. I'm kidding you not. I think I bought this when I very first went to the Wolverhampton... where was it now? I can't think where it was. You're going back a few years. But it's why I was with Ninja Bear Hug. Now, if anybody knows who Ninja Bear Hug is, then you know it was a fair while back. But I was with him, and I can't think where it was now. It was the Wolverhampton race course. When the revival at the Wolverhampton Racecourse. Now, you're going back years, and I very first met Retro Dave the day I bought this. That's what makes me remember this. I was with Ninja Bear Hug, and I met Retro Dave for the first time. Sorry about the camera, but yeah, I've had that this long, and I bought it for no apparent reason, because at the time I didn't have a Commodore 64. But still, this one is, it's kind of a side-scrolling action platforming game. Slash a bit of an adventure kind of sort of thing. So, you know, it don't look too bad. I can't remember ever putting this on. I really don't remember. I don't think I've played it ever since I've had it, but still, it's kind of funny that I've got it, and I ended up collecting for the Hit Squad, so it's kind of a game I'm glad I kept. It's shame it weren't like the likes of the Addams Family, or it was like, what was the other one I want? There's another one. It'll come to me. I can't think of the name of the blooming thing. Narc. Shame it, well, I didn't pick up Narc. You know what I mean? So, I'll keep that. You know, one day it might be worth keeping. And unfortunately, it was only the Batman, the Caped Crusader. But never mind. Still, a game I've had for years, and it don't look like a too bad of a game. regardless of that. So that is movie number 12, and that is Batman the Cape Crusader. And the final game, which is movies number 14, we've had to go miss 13 because I haven't got 13 yet. So we're going on straight to movies 14, which is the real Ghostbusters, which is based, of course, on the cartoon series back in the early 90s. And this looks and plays like, well, actually, I don't really know. I don't think I played this one. It looks like a top-down / side-scrolling adventure sort of thing. But I've loaded it up. Don't get me wrong, I've loaded it up just to see if it works. And that's what I do. Every single game I get, I load up just to make sure they load, of course. But playing it is another thing entirely. I'll probably put it on for a couple of minutes, played it, and I really can't, off the top of my head, remember what it plays like, to be honest. But still works. Not a bad little Ghostbusters game. Not as good as the original Ghostbusters, of course. It'll never beat the original Ghostbusters game on the C64. Love that game. But still, happy to have that one. And another cracking game to add to the Hit Squad collection. So that, guys, is the final movies game. And that's number 14 for the movie collection. And that is all of the Hit Squad games you're going to get out of me this video. So I'll take these off now, because I don't need to read anymore, thankfully. And my eyes feel like I've squinted because I've took them off and I can't bloody see anything now. But yes, guys, that's it. That's all you're going to get out of me for the Hit Squad this time round. I won't be so long with the next video. I'll take it back down to 15 games now. I just thought I'd give you the few extra because it's been a while, and you're touching nearly 40 minutes anyway. So this video has been quite lengthy, and I thought I'll give you a first big video anyway, because it's been a while since I've been back. So anyway, guys, listen, I think I will leave it here. And it's great to be back. You will get more content out of me. You got some Super Nintendo coming soon. You got some more, well, the final batch of games that I haven't shown yet. And then I really need to finish the collection videos off, because I've actually done 2 and I've not shown you done the final part of the Super Nintendo collection video, which is going to be big because there's quite a few games left to show. But that's in the next couple of weeks, I promise you guys. So listen, great to be back. Hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up. Stick some comments down below, guys. I am free. I will start commenting. I know I don't do it enough. It's difficult though when I'm working nights and when I'm back in the real world. So I will leave some comments for you if you want to jot them down. As I say, thanks for the new subs. Thanks for watching, guys. Your support is always welcome, and you're all legends. So as per usual, guys, I am CyberSnake7. Keep playing, and remember, always keep watching. All the best.